In the heart of the sleepy town of Glenville, the local library was a beloved institution. It was a place where people of all ages gathered to read, study, and enjoy the peace and quiet. The librarian, Mrs. Green, was a stern but kind woman who took great pride in maintaining the library's order. One day, a mischievous group of kids, known as the Glenville Gaggle, decided to pull a prank on Mrs. Green. The leader of the group, Timmy, hatched a plan to sneak into the library after hours and rearrange the books in the funniest way possible. That night, Timmy and his friends climbed through an open window, armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure. They giggled as they swapped the romance novels with horror books, placed cookbooks in the children's section, and even hid some of the books in the potted plants. The next morning, Mrs. Green arrived at the library and immediately sensed that something was amiss. As she walked through the aisles, her eyes widened in disbelief. She picked up a book from the gardening section titled How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse. In the mystery section, she found The Joy of Cooking, and the children's section was filled with historical biographies. Mrs. Green sighed deeply but couldn't help but chuckle. She knew exactly who the culprits were. Instead of scolding them, she decided to teach them a lesson in a playful way. She gathered all the misplaced books and set them aside for a special project. The next day, she put up a sign announcing a library scavenger hunt. The sign read, "Help Mrs. Green find the missing books. Fun and prizes for all participants." The Glenville Gaggle, feeling both guilty and curious, eagerly joined the scavenger hunt. Mrs. Green handed them a list of book titles and their correct sections. The kids spent hours running around the library, laughing and searching for the hidden books. Along the way, they learned about different genres and discovered books they had never noticed before. By the end of the day, the library was back in order, and the kids had a newfound respect for Mrs. Green and the work she did. As a reward for their efforts, Mrs. Green treated them to cookies and lemonade and even let them pick out a book to take home. Timmy and his friends apologized for their prank, and Mrs. Green forgave them with a smile. She thanked them for their help and reminded them that the library was a place for fun and learning. From that day on, the Glenville Gaggle became regular visitors to the library, often volunteering to help Mrs. Green with various tasks. The library was more lively and vibrant than ever, thanks to the great library caper and the lessons learned from it.